I pulled up the questions.
Well, that's good. Because we've been rolling actually for about 10 seconds.
Greetings and welcome to Mr. V's Keys. Hello, Mr. V.
Hello.
So today we have another guest, and I'll let her introduce the episode, seeing as how this was her idea. Madam President, please introduce yourself.
That's what we're calling her now.
Michelle Obama's here?
What? That's crazy.
Come on.
Talk.
Hi, I'm Lucia, and this episode is about relationships.
Love. Love.
Sometimes.
Do you need to have love for a relationship?
You can...
You have to have some
Yeah.
form
You have
of
to have some
respect,
form
at
of
least.
Some truth.
Alright. So, I think the best way to start this off would be with 2 questions. The first question is, are you either of you currently in a relationship?
No.
No.
Nate?
I am not.
I
Well,
don't
me.
have time.
Well, yeah, my
have
life's
time for
too busy
anything,
with not other people. So, I am also not in a relationship. Second
Why are
question.
we having this episode?
I'm in a relationship with myself.
I just
That's
got
the healthiest
into a-
relationship.
I just had a breakup, so I was in a relationship.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, second question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how qualified are you to give people advice about love? Lucia?
Oh, Lord.
-5.
I was gonna say,
Probably like a 2 or a 3. I think I don't know much.
I don't give advice, but
You know what really give advice?
Not
Because
really.
we're all in it, like on this topic.
Yeah.
Well,
Unless
things that
someone
you just
has
learn.
like
Live and learn.
Yeah. I don't really know anything, so like all of my like tips for these questions that we have are gonna be like music references.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep a tally of how many I make.
We're putting this up for Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
This could be a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Valentine's
Oh,
Day advice.
this will be the most popular.
This might be our most popular episode.
By
Yeah.
far.
Oh wait,
When in doubt, love it out.
This is going to be terrible.
we have. I split up the questions into 4 different sections, all related to love, obviously. Finding, keeping, losing, and coping with loss of love. Start off with finding love, seeing as how that's the first stage of the 5 stages of love. Do you know about the 5 stages of love?
A little bit. I have taught in the past love in my social psych class.
Why don't you anymore?
It just depends on if the students want to learn about it.
Oh, okay. So, 5 stages of love. The first one is like falling.
Finding it, falling in
Yeah,
love.
finding.
Yeah.
First question: how do you go about asking someone out or confessing your emotions?
Just do it.
Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah.
Because it depends on who your target is. That sounds really creepy.
That does sound really
Targeting,
creepy.
it depends on the personality type of you, what's comfortable for you, what's going to be comfortable for that other person. Because I know people that have like asked someone out in a really public way or proposed in a real public way, and it completely turns the individual off because that's not how they function, and so they're like, nope.
Right? Or also, if you get asked in a really public way, sometimes you feel trapped into what's happening, and you're like, I don't actually want to, but I have to say yes because
Or
if
I'm
I
a jerk.
don't,
That leads me to the second question, which is perfect. We're in high school, homecoming, prom, that a lot of people like to make big signs. What's your opinion on asking someone out like that? Personally,
With a big sign?
yeah, with a big sign. or
I'd
something.
never do it.
Personally, I hate that idea.
I think it's dumb.
Yeah. What about you?
So I've been asked to homecoming
With a big
past
sign?
2 years with a big sign, and part of it is fun because like
It's a big sign.
it's a big sign and then it's a public thing, but also it's a little.
If you
I
say
mean,
no,
it's
you're
scary.
a jerk.
Yeah, if you say no, you're a jerk, and it's scary. I think for whoever is asking too, like because we make it such a giant deal that they have like. Here it seems to be the tradition to ask people with signs. I think a lot of people get really nervous about that.
Yeah,
it's a
I
little
think
weird.
whenever you're asking someone out or asking someone to homecoming or whatever, it's always best to not plan too much because
See, that's the complete opposite. I was a planner. When I asked my date out to prom, because we went in just as, until prom, I just went with friends to dances, like, in big groups. It was planned out. I contacted the parents. I knew her favorite candy.
Oh, yeah,
because I needed to get into her house to create a trail of Starbursts through the house into her backyard that said prom.
Okay, prom was like that, though.
And I wanted to ask
so
permission.
cute.
I'm kind of old-fashioned like that. Like, I was like, is it okay if I take your daughter to prom?
It's very kind.
That's so cute. Okay, proposals like that, though, like,
Yeah,
those are the cutest things ever.
Because it was between the two of us.
It hits the far end of the spectrum to the point that it becomes okay again.
And like that's a lot more private too. Like the thing about making a big big sign is that like everybody knows. Everybody's watching.
Some people like that.
But there's a car, I don't know if it's still there. There's a car every day in the lot that I see. It says HC on the back.
That was a joke. I know whose car that is.
Right.
They painted that on their own car. Or no, one of their friends died or something like that.
That's
I don't
funny.
know.
Right. Next question. Any advice you would give to someone who is trying to find love and like to get their like courage up or something? Like,
So
motivation.
they already have
a, as Mr. V said, a target.
and they have
Still creepy.
someone that they admire.
Yes,
Still creepy.
You're right.
they are
Still creepy.
a suitor to another.
Okay, now we just sound like we're from the South.
I was thinking like 1700s.
That's what I was thinking.
Sooner.
Could be both.
All right.
I mean,
So, any advice to someone?
Be like Nike.
just
do
do
it.
it.
Do it.
Swoosh.
Yeah, I don't. Just go for it. And if it doesn't work, well,
Don't be creepy about it.
yeah, exactly.
If
And
they say no, be like, cool, and just walk away. Like,
yeah, if it doesn't,
Also, I think a good way to do it is in a no pressure situation. Like, hey, do you want to go get coffee sometime?
Yeah.
That works really well because then there's an out. And also, if it's going really poorly, we were just friends. I just wanted to hang out with you. You know, you're at a coffee shop.
I prefer tea. Tea's the preferred beverage.
Whatever.
I don't drink that.
Same difference.
Either way, in order to find someone, psychologically speaking, you have to be able to see them on a regular basis, right? You have to have some things in interest. Not only do you have to see them on a regular basis, but there has to be like proximity in general, like they don't live too far from you, right?
Propinquity.
What?
It's a love term. Like propinquity is like,
Yes.
like the more frequent you spend time with this person, the more likely they are to say yes to you. So I am more likely to get a yes out of a girl that I conversate with frequently than some random stranger
I'm
I
a
find in
firm
the hall.
believer there's got to be a friend first. Like, that's how those relationships work. That there's some way and a friend acquaintance. Not just like, I admire you from across the classroom and have talked to you, so now I'm going to ask you out.
That's creepy.
I will say though about that is if you have a friend group composed of multiple people and a few of them are of the opposite gender or whatever and you have fallen for them, be careful about that because you may or may not ruin everything in that group.
No, it's not
But
actually
that's
that
because
bad. I've
people are
dated within a
immature.
friend group. And if everyone's mature about it and just accepts the situation and doesn't get weird if when and if you break up, everything's fine.
Yeah.
You just have to be mature about the situation.
Yeah, but not everyone's mature. So,
True.
That's when you have to know yourself.
what else? Any advice? The worst thing that could possibly happen to you is you get a no.
And then it's okay.
Yeah, like
Life will
no
move
isn't
on.
that bad. Like you at least take the weight of thinking about doing it off your chest and you can move on.
And I got turned down a lot. And trust me, do it sooner than later. Because I waited in high school, and then the girl that I had a massive crush on, it was too late, and I was all heartbroken for a teenager. So,
Yeah, it sucks in the moment, right? But
In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
yeah, you can't let it bother you.
Next section we have is keeping love. I really didn't know what to put in this one, seeing as how I've never
don't
kept
be
love.
creepy. Like, I feel like people need, like, those couples that can never not be away from each other, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You can have different friends. You can do different things. And as long as you trust each other, you're great. If you can't trust each other to do different things, You shouldn't be together.
Right. And I think also just like having, even if you have other friends, keeping in communication, like some dialogue between the two of you, and not just like ignoring each other for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
That's really important too.
Don't mind me.
Conversation is important.
I will note though, this is like the third stage of love, which is the hardest stage for people, and I think it's labeled like disillusionment, whatever. And what it is somewhere like 6 to 8 months after you start dating or whatever.
No longer in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, your body grows an immunity to the other person's hormones that they give off, because love is all just chemistry, really.
Talking about
But like you give off hormones, and your partner would grow immune to it eventually. And so like 6 to 8 months after you start dating, they won't get as much of a reaction out of you, and like they won't find you as special. So if you can get past that 6 to 8 months, then you just got past what may or may not be the hardest part of your relationship with that person.
I've never gotten past 6 months, so.
I got 10 months. 10 months. Yes.
Compromise is also important. If you're not willing to compromise, relationship is going nowhere.
You gotta meet each other halfway.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Venus.
have to do stuff you don't like, and you have to be happy about it. So put on a stupid smile and fake it.
Fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Jinx.
No.
That
No.
should be the title of
No.
this.
I know, I was gonna
Love,
say.
fake it till you make it.
It's either that or this is gonna be terrible.
This is gonna be terrible. Now, do you have anything to input? Because like I only have that one question under this topic.
On keeping love,
Yeah.
just like Mr. V said, compromise is important, and a relationship is a partnership. It's not, shouldn't be based on any one person.
There's no self gratification to be necessarily found without gratification being granted to the other party.
Maybe. I don't know if I'd agree with
I
that.
have no idea
Yeah,
what you
I
just
don't
said.
really.
There's a lot of
Also,
words.
like the person. Like, not just be like, you're hot, so I want your body. That's why I'm gonna date you.
That voice. That voice.
Oh my god.
And
This
then
is
you
the
end
best
up with the
podcast
creeper
ever.
that's like, love me. Just love me.
Yeah, this
Right.
is the best podcast ever.
All right.
Why won't you love me?
I don't think we can top that. Losing love.
Oh, it sucks, but it.
When is the best time to dump someone?
When there's nothing major happening in either of their lives. Not near a birthday, not near a holiday, not near any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But also, don't hold on to the point that you're, like, miserable.
Yeah.
You gotta find a nice balance there.
Yeah.
How should one go about dumping someone?
Be honest.
In person.
In person. Don't
Don't
do it
do
through.
it.
Don't-
over
don't do it over text.
Don't do
Or
it
social
over
media.
Yeah.
Sex.
Don't.
Oh my-
If it's not through mouth to them in person, then
weird way to
the-
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And definitely.
have you
don't
heard
subtweet.
the rest of
Don't
the
be
things
weird,
you've been
but,
saying
yeah.
in this podcast? They've all been pretty weird. So
It's
okay.
a weird subject.
It really is.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit uncomfortable as a teacher. Just throwing that out there.
That's
Really?
It's good soup. Just saying.
We're cutting that out.
No, that stays in the podcast.
I feel like that should be the title. No, I'm a little bit uncomfortable as a teacher. Love. Yeah, in person, I think, like, obviously, I think
Yeah.
we can all agree on that, right? Because, like, don't, even calling them, don't call it in person. No texting, no calling, no Snapchat, no social media.
God, over Snapchat, that would be awful.
Yeah. Let me just send a Snapchat breaking up with someone. No, that's
I
not
know
okay.
people that have taken a picture of themselves with another person that they are now in a relationship with and sent it and be like, I'm breaking up with you. Like, don't be that person.
Oh.
Don't be that jerk.
It's because at that point you're just
You're just trying to hurt someone.
to make it a clean break.
Right? And trying to be friends. Like, I would hope that you were in a relationship for, I guess if it ends ugly, but then don't be friends. But if it's going to be like, hopefully it'd be mutual, but not, obviously that's in
I feel like in a lot of cases,
ideal
it's
world.
not
Yeah.
a mutual thing. Like someone, is at least holding on to it more than the other person.
Yeah. I
In
don't
some
know what to
cases
do in
it's
that
mutual.
case.
In the case that you're holding on to it, I would say just try and give each other space at least
Yes.
after a breakup. Because it's hard, like, it's hard to break up with someone just as hard as it is to get broken up with, I think, most of the time at least.
Yeah, it is.
Generally.
Oh, and if you blindside them, like you didn't think you were going to blindside them, but then you end up blindsiding them.
I've done that.
So if you, by chance, do blindside somebody, and you didn't realize you were going to, don't be like, let's go do something this weekend. Like, give them their grieving period and let them reach out to you.
On the topic of the grieving period, any advice for anyone who is in that grieving period? Like what?
You technically have 1 year, depending on how intense the relationship was, before you're clinically depressed. Just an FYI. Usually this is more about losing someone to death, but breakups of major relationships can be the same thing. Because you have to get through all the firsts without them. First birthday without them. First holiday, like if you celebrate Christmas without them. First New Year's without, like all those firsts, all those milestones that you had typically been celebrating with an individual if you've been in a relationship for a few years. So you have 1 year that you can have periods of sadness. And then if you have sadness after that, you should probably go talk to someone and see if you're clinically depressed.
All right, well, I don't know what to say.
I just thought that would be fun, like good information for everyone. Like it's okay to be sad for a while after a really major breakup. It's all right. Misery's always the realist and downer.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So you said, Lucia, Madam President, that you've always
Michelle
been on
Obama?
Where is she? Huh?
Where's she at?
You said you've been on the side of the dumping.
Yes.
So you've dumped. So you've never been on the side of someone who just got dumped.
Right.
So you.
Of course.
Lucia. Well.
That's
I've
okay.
not been on either.
From that side, do you have any tips to give someone who just dumped someone? Sorry, I kind of just put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, this was your idea, this episode.
That's true.
So.
I would think that, like, being truthful about why you're breaking up with them is really important, and answering questions that they have, because my last breakup, I kind of blindsided them. I didn't think I did, but they were a little bit blindsided, and they had a lot of questions, and I tried to answer those, and I think that that's really important to do.
Closure.
Closure.
You
Giving them
need
closure, yeah.
It's the unknown, I think, that upsets people when it's just like this blindsided thing. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What? If you're getting broken up with, you can have a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, that's true.
I
But
think that's
Ice cream's
okay.
always good.
I will say though, what can help one person won't always help other people. So maybe ice cream won't help everybody.
So deep fried.
Deep fried ice cream?
Yes.
It's really good.
That might help everybody. If you don't like ice cream, well,
Chocolate.
it's deep fried. So
Gummy
Most
bears.
people like chocolate. It's true.
yeah, I'm a big fan of
90% dark.
gummy.
Yeah, just fall back in your
98?
comfort foods if you need it.
90%.
Oh, I thought you said 98%. I was like, Mr. V, that's more or less just cocoa.
Yeah.
That's 2%.
Yeah, that's 2% of
a
not.
literal bitter root.
You know what? Gotta do what you gotta do to deal.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotta make it past somehow.
God, I'm cracking myself up today.
Valentine's Day, I'm gonna bring you 98% dark chocolate.
Yes!
I don't think you can find that.
I've had 90,
I think you can.
I've
I
had
think you
like
can.
95 before.
I know you can find 95.
It's bitter like my soul.
Oh my god.
That's why I like black coffee too, right? Like it's. Maybe I'm just a bitter human being.
Maybe.
So don't take any of my advice on this relationship stuff because I'm clearly just a bitter human being.
Maybe you shouldn't really
Mr.
take
V,
any
so
of my advice.
You're so young, though. How could you be calloused and bitter already?
I teach history.
Yeah.
I live in a very unique kind of prison in this world because
he
I
actually
understand the
His
past.
mind just lives in the past because he's
But he's
teaching
constantly
history.
looking to the future.
It does actually during the school year. I'm always like, oh, that'd be good to talk about that subject.
Well, because we're on a podcast, you couldn't see the face he was making, but
It's
he
a
was
good
just like
face.
staring off into the like light of the room.
Hey,
Horizon line.
you know what? For those of you that don't like Valentine's Day, which is coming up, always know that there's the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which occurred in 1929, where Al
really glad we're
Capone
ending,
killed
though.
Bugs
I'm really
Moran's
glad
men.
We're ending on this
Right?
note, guys.
So you can always know that, one, your Valentine's Day didn't end in gang murder, so you're alive, and two, you could just celebrate that if you wanted to. You could celebrate the murder of gangsters over booze. Good time.
Well, Madam President, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And remember,
Always do good and be good and love fiercely.